How Cody Rhodes has earned everything.
Those 3 words. Well, all I can say is this. Since I was a little boy who grew up loving everything, for you to want me is special because I have always wanted you.
More than just Dusty's kid, Cody Rhodes is a generational babyface with talent that jumps off the screen and a wrestling lineage that your parents and grandparents will know. Dusty Rhodes was an American icon, but Cody's path is still being laid, still unfolding on a weekly basis. It feels like Cody's story will only just begin if he defeats Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 40, Cody accomplishing so much without having yet won a WWE World title. When he does, everything about Cody will crack open, and we will see a side of him we've yet to see. We know, as fans, how much winning the WWE Championship means to Cody, winning the belt his father never technically won. It will be so satisfying to witness his eventual win, the sincerity and genuine thankfulness on his face. Even for those who aren't Cody fans, it will be difficult not to embrace him in his moment of triumph, a truly historic wrestling moment. And for Cody's fans, we may end up crying alongside him. Regardless, the truth of it is this: Cody needs to get the job done. I don't pretend to know Cody's future, but it feels bright, it feels filled with untapped potential, and it feels momentous. Let's dig into Cody Rhodes' American Nightmare character, perhaps the biggest misnomer in wrestling history, to uncover what makes a hero a hero. Cody is genuinely wholesome. I find Cody's nickname, the American Nightmare, to feel ill-fitting in 2024. It sounds like it should be attached to a villain, perhaps an angsty young man who disavows his father, perhaps like Alexis King. But Cody obviously loves his father. I'm sure if Dusty were still alive, Cody as a man would be the farthest thing from a nightmare in his father's eyes. Cody is not a nightmare, but I think he ultimately chose this as his nickname to get out from underneath his father's shadow, to become his own man. Not only has Cody achieved that, he may also surpass his father's legacy by the time he hangs up the boots. But I still feel that the American Nightmare does not fit Cody's character well in 2024. I also understand Cody's original run in the independent wrestling circuit was as a heel. I wasn't watching wrestling at that time, so I don't have first-hand memories of Cody's indie run. I will do very limited background on Cody's work in the indies and in AEW. There's a plethora of content that covers those stories, including Cody's documentary on Peacock. If you haven't watched it, you definitely should. Again, while I will add some background here and there, this will be an analysis of Cody Rhodes right now, in 2024, while I am a fan of him. Okay, so let's talk about the kind of man Cody is, one who decidedly is not a nightmare. When I think of Cody Rhodes and his success, I come back to one phrase, one modus operandi: earning it. Every week, Cody is a liaison of the everyman and every woman, a representative of the crowd, but also the frontman of WWE's corporate structure. He understands communicating honestly with the fan base is prized, something that was not always the case with WWE. A perfect example of how Cody handles himself as a company representative was on display during the Royal Rumble press conference when he was asked about the Vince McMahon allegations. Behind the scenes, he appears to be a driving force in WWE, creating a healthier work environment, a place where wrestlers are given time off if they ask for it, a place where injuries and health are taken more seriously. A locker room, as Cody has said time and time again, that feels like a family. But in the ring, around the fans, Cody puts them on a pedestal. Countless off-air videos have been posted of Cody's interactions with fans after his matches. It is clear that he respects the fans, not just because they are paying customers, but because they are people. From always making time to interact with children, to being the best man in a fan's wedding, to shipping out signed memorabilia to fans on social media, Cody is the perfect babyface for WWE's current landscape, because he's being real. Beyond the fans, Cody is known as an amazingly helpful and caring person with other wrestlers and wrestling employees. When Jade Cargill first signed with WWE, she was especially excited to see Cody. To paraphrase her, she mentioned how important Cody was to her success in AEW. In today's mostly kayfabe-less wrestling landscape, public perception of wrestlers outside the ring matters more than ever. A microscope is on WWE's most popular wrestlers constantly, social media being the force that it is. From all accounts, Cody is a wonderful human being, husband, and father. A wrestler's personal character, especially if they are a babyface and especially if they are primed to become the face of WWE, is extremely important. Cody has everything anybody could ask for, and he has it genuinely. When I watch Cody, I feel like nothing is forced. This doesn't even touch other aspects of Cody's game: his in-ring work, facial expressions in the ring, family lineage, historical storyline, aura, etc. But those are also top tier. To also paraphrase Pat McAfee, Cody earns the fans every night, and that's why he's beloved.
WWE Universe loves this man for good reason. Every night he earns their appreciation.
This is why the We Want Cody movement happened. Fans don't want to see Cody be a martyr. They want to see him be the ultimate winner, the new king on wrestling's mountain. How to earn it. How Cody has earned his position in WWE is multifaceted, but I wanted to focus this section on how injuries and illnesses can build goodwill with wrestling fans, helping wrestlers get over with crowds. Obviously, Cody, upon his return from AEW, was already over with WWE fans when he tore his pec. Although there were few, those who did not like Cody before Hell in a Cell 2022 had no choice but to love and respect him for wrestling while injured. Cody's pec was disturbingly bruised. He was obviously in pain. The crowd went completely silent when he finally revealed his injury. The feeling that this man was doing something so dangerous, borderline insane, hung heavy in the air. And why did he do it? Why risk his health for a wrestling match? Because the fans were there to see it, and he was there to serve the fans no matter what. My argument about injuries and illnesses in wrestling is complex, but important. They unequivocally pull back the curtain on these larger-than-life personalities and superstars. It shows that these wrestlers are just people. And when they do have to take time away to rehab and recover, we as fans find, even if they aren't our favorite wrestler, that we miss them being on our TV screens. Think back to Roman Reigns announcing his leukemia had returned. It did not matter that fans felt he was overpushed and a forced babyface. At any other time, they would be booing Roman for his forced character. But as the word cancer left his mouth, people gave him a standing ovation. A realization that this man is a person, and that person is ill. From then on, Roman was over with fans. To give another recent example, Raquel Rodriguez is a wrestler who is not massively over, but the story of her dealing with a debilitating skin condition, one that flared up at Elimination Chamber 2024, endears me deeply to her. It's difficult to wrestle in front of 52,000 fans in general, let alone with burning, swollen skin. I speculate that she will be more over with fans now than she was before Elimination Chamber. I bring those examples up to say this: when wrestlers make sacrifices for the fans, whether it be wrestling with an injury or speaking frankly about an illness, those wrestlers gain respect and, in turn, get more over. This is what happened to Cody Rhodes in Hell in a Cell 2022, freshly returned to WWE. Nobody wanted to believe the injury rumors, but they were true. His injury was gruesome, and Cody sacrificed himself to keep the show on track. Fighting through the pec injury gives Cody an edge, a sense of toughness that I'm not sure other babyfaces traditionally have. I think this perception of Cody persists, even subconsciously, in the minds of fans. He can be a white meat babyface, but he can also be an absolute badass. This moment in wrestling history always sticks in the back of my mind. An absolutely iconic visual experience that leaves me saying, this is how you earn it. God, this is how you earn absolutely everything. The elephant in the room. We cannot talk about Cody's current character without discussing the open secret about his history. He is arguably the reason WWE's biggest competitor, AEW, exists. In a wrestling landscape where kayfabe is dead, wrestlers are able to speak more freely with the press and news is leaked constantly. There's no way to dodge the fact that Cody and AEW are forever linked. And for the most part, WWE doesn't try to hide Cody's past. Regardless, the fact that Cody left WWE revolutionized the indie wrestling circuit process, then helped create WWE's biggest rival cannot be swiped from fans' minds. We know Cody had every reason not to return, not be in front of WWE fans, but he sacrificed the company he built for the promotion he had to come back to. Even if you're not an AEW fan, what Cody accomplished outside of WWE is extremely impressive and admirable. Knowing this aspect of Cody's history breaks the fourth wall of wrestling, but adds depth to the American Nightmare character because it highlights the depth of Cody himself. I suppose as I write this essay, I'm finding that there is no separation between Cody's in-ring persona and Cody the real person. When someone is as interesting as Cody in real life, and he's not playing anyone other than himself on TV, his on-screen character has to also be interesting. As I mentioned previously, the way wrestlers carry themselves outside of the ring is extremely important in 2024. For many WWE fans, when a wrestler steps away from the company and comes back, half of them know what they've been up to, and the other half don't. Still, for most WWE fans, whether they watch AEW or not, know it exists. Know Cody Rhodes played a massive role in its existence. It sits in the background of Cody's story. He rebirthed from the ashes of his first WWE run and came out way more successful. Maybe it's a stretch, but I feel there's an ever-present underlying fear that if Cody ever decides to leave again, he will build whatever promotion he joins into another major rival. To me, Cody the person, Cody the character, also represents ingenuity, perseverance, and rebuilding one's image like no other wrestler in history. I think, in general, WWE fans feel the same way, feel that Cody is the ultimate underdog hero. Cody's father was known for being a working-class icon. I can think of no better way for Cody to honor him than to build it yourself, build something from the ground up. And he did that. Then, he gave it all up to honor his father, to honor the WWE fans, to make it in the place he started, to make WWE the best company it can be. Fans do not take that lightly. Another reason why he's mega over. Another reason why the vast majority of fans want him to be the face of the company. Finishing the story. Finish the Story is fundamentally, undeniably a masterful marketing campaign for the product of Cody Rhodes. WWE 2K24 is even using Finish Your Story as its tagline. I have broken down many aspects of Cody's story throughout this video already, but I think I can touch on something more archetypal about it. For you English majors out there, you may be familiar with Joseph Campbell's famous monomyth, aka the hero's journey. I would like to showcase how Cody's Finish the Story motto follows the traditional hero's journey fairly faithfully, albeit much more abbreviated than if I were writing an academic essay on it. Obviously, as stories evolve through time, the more nuanced they get and the less they fit standardized molds. So, some of these steps may require extra critical thinking and argumentation, but ultimately, all things considered, Cody's story fits the hero's journey. Fundamentally, every story follows the hero's journey, especially when it's not trying to subvert expectations or buck traditions. Many of the stages laid out in the monomyth are metaphorical and symbolic, so don't take them all literally. The hero's journey has three major parts: separation, initiation, and return. For Cody, his separation phase represents his movement from wanting to be an actor, which is highlighted in his documentary, to becoming a professional wrestler. Yes, Cody had an amateur wrestling background and was very good at it. But once he graduated high school, he and his sister wanted to become stars, just not pro wrestling stars. Eventually, Cody accepted the call to adventure and followed his father to the WWE. This is definitely esoteric, but I think Cody's first supernatural aid was the magic he displayed at Dusty's Hall of Fame induction, where Cody gave an amazing, impassioned speech. It was as if everything aligned in that moment to make Cody look like a future star, someone who needed a push. As if by some divine intervention, Cody's words came out of his mouth perfectly. Then, he was called up to the main roster, which is crossing the first threshold. For every good hero, whether it be Luke Skywalker, Harry Potter, or Frodo, the initiation phase mainly sets forth a series of trials and struggles the hero must overcome. Well, this section hit Cody hard. First, Dusty took over as head writer and creative director at NXT, making stars out of Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, Kevin Owens, Paige, Samoa Joe, and others. Meanwhile, Cody was struggling on the main roster and deeply desiring direction from his father, the best person in the world to give him advice, but did not receive help. Instead, the band of rising NXT stars called themselves Dusty's Kids, leaving Cody feel directionless and fatherless. Beyond this, Cody struggled to find a gimmick that made him a main event star, culminating in the atrocity known as Stardust. Cody has gone on record stating that he absolutely hated that gimmick. However, he still bought into the character, attempting to get it over with fans. It ultimately didn't work and, frustrated with his creative direction, Cody left his father, left the WWE. He then went to the Indies to build himself into something new, the metaphorical phoenix materializing in real life. While some of these stages aren't in order perfectly, they definitely happened to Cody. For example, Cody met the goddess, his wife, Brandy, and that would change his life forever. I also think there are thresholds sprinkled throughout the hero's journey, even if they aren't always labeled. Cody transitioning into the Indies is crossing a threshold. Cody passed another threshold when creating AEW, and he passed a threshold when he returned to WWE. And he had another trial when he lost to Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 39. Currently, right before WrestleMania 40, we are somewhere between Cody's Ultimate Boon stage and Master of Two Worlds stage. There is some overlap between stages here. For example, if Cody wins at WrestleMania 40, he will have atoned his father. He will have gained his ultimate reward. Yes, the WWE Championship, but also the ultimate honor for his father. Cody will become the Master of Two Worlds after he wins the title. That is, he will make peace with the spirit of his father and hold the gold, the physical representation of his boon. He will also go through apotheosis. The match itself will be an extreme challenge, with many swerves, I presume. But a version of Cody will die when he wins the WWE Championship, and he will be reborn into Cody the King. Of course, as the current story is suggesting, Cody will have friends to aid him, just like many other characters in epic storylines. Seth Rollins will for sure be helping Cody win the title, but maybe even Drew McIntyre. Perhaps the whole locker room will come out and help Cody finally end Roman's tyrannical reign. There's even a decent chance The Rock double-crosses Roman to help Cody. Cody's Freedom to Live stage will take place on the Raw after WrestleMania. He will have finally gotten the monkey off his back, avenge his father's honor, and finish his epic story. Of course, what's great about stories ending, especially episodics that run weekly, is when one story ends, another begins. All in all, Cody's story is absolutely archetypally classic. It feels familiar, but that's the thing that makes it so exciting. The viewer can get into the story, see themselves in it, and relate. Great heroes fail and fail and fail, only to eventually succeed. And that success is so sweet. It's the thing that makes people cheer. Cody's story is charged with anticipation for this moment, the moment when Cody finally becomes king. Cody and his story have a symbiotic relationship. Great characters exist because they are embedded in great stories. One cannot exist without another. I argue this. Cody's great story is by far the most impactful aspect of Cody's character being so great. His win at WrestleMania 40 seems like an inevitability, but it's what almost everyone wants. Even the detractors who want Roman to win, I believe deep down, still understand that Cody must win, or every bit of goodwill implodes and the show feels pointless. The writers almost messed the whole thing up once by inexplicably forcing The Rock into this equation. Luckily, WWE fixed their error swiftly, and we've moved back onto the correct path. I just hope, for the love of all things right in the world, they have Cody win. It's the only thing that makes sense, and every other alternative ending sets fire to years of work. The perfect Roman Reigns foil. My final point is this. Cody is the perfect champion for WWE to transition out of this chapter of Roman's story. I mean it when I say every other wrestler operates in response to Roman Reigns and the Bloodline storyline. The Bloodline is so monumental and groundbreaking. It is the backbone of WWE. Fans are currently ready for a babyface to be the marquee of the company, but this doesn't mean Roman will fall off a cliff. It simply means His story will progress naturally forward into something else. Truly, an issue with taking the belt off Roman has been this: nobody was worthy, nobody until now. Because for all the reasons listed in this video, Cody is worthy of being the WWE champion. We exist in the perfect time and perfect place to pull the trigger. I am 99.9% sure Cody is winning at Wrestlemania 40, and I will be excited to see it happen. We'll be excited to see how WWE shifts with Cody as champion. And we'll be excited to see how Roman and the Bloodline react to Roman losing the championship. If you made it this far in the video, you are a friend and scholar. Sincerely, drop a comment below telling me what you did and didn't like, what I missed, and who you'd like me to cover next. Hit the like button and subscribe for more WWE video essays. Check out this one about why Rhea Ripley's mommy character works.